All right. Good morning, everyone. Good to see a few of you online already. Alison, James, good to see you. How you doing this morning? Got some technical issues at my place. One of the kids has been on the internet with some gaming, and our internet's down. Anyway, there you go. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. I think my focus is a smidge out. So anyway, all right. Give me 30 seconds. Other way. There we go. Hey, good morning to you guys. Let me know if things are coming through okay in the chat. I can see a few on right now. And how's the quality this morning? I'm tethering on my phone. There you go. Hey, good to see all of you guys here for another little cheeky chat, coffee chat in the morning. Morning, Margaret. How you doing? For those who don't know, many do, but if you don't know, Jason Witten's my name. I've been chatting with you guys for a little while now when it comes to property investing. There we go. Lee's all the way from Tassie. Good to see you, Lee. And each morning, we try to get together around about 10 past 8 Queensland time these days. It's a little bit later for the eastern states, and hopefully that's not too much of a problem for most of you, but good to see a few of you on this morning. Yesterday, many of you know I went to a conference. I'm just going to grab my pen here. Hang on a second. Oh, well. Bit unprepared this morning. Many of you know I went to a conference yesterday about short-term letting and the world of what's going on in Australia when it comes to that stuff, wondering what I would learn. And I thought I'd sort of debrief you guys on what I learned this morning or this morning about what's happening out there in the world of short-term letting. Interesting times. You know, the hits keep on rolling when it comes to real estate and what the pandemic world has, produced or created, I suppose, locally and internally and externally. But, in the short-term space, many of us are thinking about maybe we might put some of our properties on short-term letting. So let's have a bit of a chat about what that looks like this morning. I'm down my pen. Don't know where that is. So we're just going to have to wing it as we go along. But let's have a bit of a look at what I discovered yesterday. So some pretty interesting things here. If you can see down there in the corner. I wonder if I can write with my finger. No, I can't. Not on this one, I don't think. Anyway, see down here the industry that is having a lot of money invested in it, thrown at it, and looks like it's going to benefit many of us. Is the industry of tourism in Australia? We're a luxury destination when it comes to the world of visits and international tourists, and the Tourism Australia talked about yesterday. You can see down here at 2021. That little spot there where we were, tourism was pretty average when it comes to, money invested in it and, the money that it was creating when it comes to visitors. And it's sort of saying this is visitors and also long-term international students ahead of us, folks. So many of us have properties in and around the world of education precincts, tourism precincts, and so on. And if you're thinking about short-term letting, what does it look like? How are we looking for the future? Well, we're well underway with much excitement from the communities about the dollars and cents and the people, the humans coming back when it comes to this. Quite a large investment, quite a large increase by the look of things when it comes to where we're headed for the next little bit. when it comes to tourism and recovery. What does that mean? Tell me in the chat. Tourism and international students. What does that mean? Where is the most? Let me ask this correctly. Where will the benefit predominantly happen as we see this recovery, folks? This $22 billion, let's say, for the next 6 to 7 years to the Olympics in Brisbane and beyond, as we see international students come back into the country, as we see tourism increase, where does that predominantly go? First port of call. Tell me in the chat. Location-wise, by the way, I'm trying to ask a question without giving away the answer. But where are those bodies going to go? Are they going to go to, the outback, or are they going to go to where? Okay, where are they going? Put it in the chat. A few of you have probably already done that. Takes a second to come through. They go to the cities, right? And predominantly the east coast of Australia, folks. So for all of us as property investors, certainly Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and anywhere in between, that's where. Yep, exactly, Chris. Known icons as well. Yep, usually places like Byron. This is the next bit. Byron. So they do this sort of beach hopping, right? They go Manly, they go Bondi, Manly, Byron, Burleigh, Noosa, right? That's kind of the beach hop up the coast when it comes to visitors as well, and backpacking and all the way to Cairns often too. So interesting stuff in that sort of space. So, right, what does that mean? Right, we've got plenty of money being spent. We've got some arrivals happening, international arrivals into Australia on the increase again from a little while ago. Excuse me. Which is good news for all of us. However, no surprise here, is it? No surprise here for all of us is that the listings for, and this is short-term letting. These are short-term letting listings. We've got a huge amount of people going to enter the country from tourism. There's a huge amount of people going to enter the country from international students and so on. Often the international students do cyclically, like in a cycle, in some sort of cycle, rent properties. So it's kind of, there's a peak time and then there's vacancies and stuff like that. But overall listings are down, folks, when it comes to the industry, and it's not surprising because long-term letting, we've got a massive undersupply as well. And also right now, when it comes to, August 22 right here, May, June, July, all the way through the pandemic, we're down by at least 30 or 40% of properties available in this marketplace. And what does that mean? What does it mean for short-term letting with the right type of property, folks? If you're thinking about it, then, here's something that should be encouraging. If you're thinking about short-term letting your property, it depends on where it is, obviously. But if you're thinking about short-term letting your property and, overall listings are down pretty significantly from, before COVID, what does that mean for us as property investors if that's what you're thinking? Put that in the chat for me. What does that mean for you and me as property investors? What's going on? Yep, demand will drive up the prices. Absolutely, Chris. And that is certainly one thing that's happening in the short-term letting world. Lots and lots of really high-quality letting and prices going up pretty significantly, which is pretty cool, which is pretty awesome when it comes to us. And we might be thinking about, if you are thinking about that, then fantastic. All right, what's the call when it comes to the quality of these bits and pieces, these properties in the short-term letting space? Well, here's the drill. This is what, if you're thinking about it, this is what the Tourism Australia have gained from interviewing and surveying a lot of travellers. They like the idea of, having some nature experiences, which is good. 74% say they want some sort of wellness attached to, their stay. A large amount of people like the idea of making sure they've got access to food and coffee. Pick me. Like, that's why I like going to places like, let's say, Byron or other places. I want to make sure, when I go there, I can have nice food, go out to dinner, easy coffee, walk to breakfast, and so on. It's got to be clean and sanitary and safe and good infrastructure for travel, obviously. Accessible. Yeah, that makes sense. This is an interesting one. For Australia, we've got some ground to make up on this one. Sort of, engaging in the Indigenous population. Some of the amazing experiences. Let's say in Uluru and other places. Very, very in demand. But check this one out. This is really interesting. This one I thought really landed for me and maybe for many of us. A workation. What does a workation mean? Well, workation means, hey, listen, I'm bored being at home in one location. If I'm working from home, a lot of people are happy to go away for a month to another location, folks. So this is where, internet and, access to the city and travel and stuff like that. If I'm going to work, I'm happy to work, my regular hours, whatever they are. But let me, if I live in the Gold Coast, which I do, hey, I'm going to go to Melbourne for a month and I'm going to hang out in Melbourne. I'm going to work and I need to work from home. I need a working environment when I go and hire this short-term letting place. It's all set up for work, a workation. And then I want to experience Melbourne, for a month. Right. So, that's quite interesting. That's kind of a very new thing created from the pandemic when it comes to short-term letting. So that's quite kind of sweet. And then, some sort of sustainability and bits and pieces. So, very interesting when it comes to all of this stuff. If you're in the short-term letting space, I think that's all I had there. If you're in the short-term letting space, there's some things to think about when it comes to, all right, how would I take advantage of this? What could I do as a property investor? We've got huge amounts of money being spent on marketing Australia, billions and billions and billions of dollars. We've got lots of jobs. There's plenty of work here. And it's an attractive place to come. People come to Australia when they have money. We are a luxury destination, not a budget destination by any stretch of the imagination. One of the things that holding Australia back is the challenges of the expense of our flights. So they said they were working on that. But here's some challenges ahead when it comes to short-term letting. Maybe chuck it in the chat if you think there's one major challenge, one major issue right now in the world of short-term letting, and it's kind of worldwide. And again, it's political. Does anyone know what it is? What's going on for short-term letting? And there are some challenges. Now, if you are in the short-term letting space, you should reach out to ASTRA, the Australian Short Stay Short Stay Travel Authority Association. I might try and find it, what it stands for, and have a chat to them and give them your support. What's the big headwind? Well, I'll tell you just quickly because we don't have a lot of time to muck around today. The big headwind is and how long they stay in short stay. Absolutely, Alison. So we have this vacuum of vacuum in the short stay world of legislation and regulation. And so there's a lot of stuff going on. The national government hasn't done anything. There's not a national governing body. The states are kind of doing their own thing. The local councils are kind of doing their own thing. The local body corporates kind of like, oh, we're going to do it this way. And then, the people who live in the suburb are saying, oh, we want it another way, right? So, interesting time. So, what happened just recently, give you an example, up in Noosa, I believe up in Noosa, the local council, because there's no regulation, no governing body, no overarching plans from anywhere, they've said, listen, we've had enough of this short stay malarkey. If you've got a property that's short stay, great, register it. But after that, and pay some fees, pay some money, which is fine. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's exactly how it should be. Nothing should be unmanaged or unregulated when it comes to things like this, because it's important for everyone to have a set of rules and values and behaviours to abide by. So anyway, Noosa said, that's it. No more new Airbnb properties anywhere in Noosa. That's it. We're done. What is, and everything else is going to be for, owner occupiers. Interesting times, huh? Now they're looking at caps down in Byron. Yesterday there was a big conversation around, Byron City Council already passing a bunch of things to say, listen, we're going to put a cap on short stay in Byron at 90 days. 90 days. I think if they do that, that will be an absolute disaster for property values in Byron. But, there you go. There you go. Anyway, so, however, the cities seem to be a lot more organised and prepared. Fair enough. Some of the smaller communities, some of this Airbnb, short-term letting stuff adjust the community feel, and there's some challenges there, which is fine. But for us as property investors, if we've got some properties in the locations in the city, I think, for many of us, we're going to be quite capable or able to benefit from some short-term letting in our world of investing. Anyway, there you go. Hopefully that was useful. I found it very interesting when it comes to what's going on in that industry. We shall see. We shall see. I'm actually going to another conference in the next couple of days, which is a lending conference with an aggregator called Connective, and I might keep you guys up to speed on what's going on in the world of lending. What can we expect in the next little while, folks? We shall see. We shall see. Anyway, there you go. Done and dusted for the day. Wealth Coffee Chat over and out. You guys be awesome and well. I'll chuck it back to here. There you go. Join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat. Spill the beans on lending for sure. Yes, Alison. Servicing is changing, but I think there will be some other things changing in the positive back our way. But I'll sniff it out, Alison. I'll find out what is going on. All right, folks. That's it. I'm done. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted for today. Thanks for joining me. Good to see you guys as always. And remember, a couple of sayings around here. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time to build our property portfolio in the way we want it. And main thing is to buy well and never sell. There you go. All right. Adios. What fees are involved? See you, Warren. What fees are involved? What fees particularly are you talking about there? Are you talking about the Airbnb fees? Chuck that in the chat for me. Whoever said that was that you, Lee? I'll hang on for another minute. Answer your question if you want to put it in the chat for me. Let me know. Yes. There you go. There's a little bit of a delay in the streaming software, so by the time that goes out, and then whoever comes back with their question might take a little bit of time, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, I might if you put it in the chat, whoever that was, I'll read it later on. And the fees at this point in time I've seen for short-term letting, depending on where you are, which state, which council, etc., range anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 to register your property. There's another day's worth of understanding and bits and pieces for today as well at at the conference. So we might find out a little bit more, folks. So stick around. Might bring back some more intel tomorrow. All right, thanks, team. You guys be awesome. Be well. Have a good one, and see you tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat.